Hello, I'm Coach Brian Parana. I've been a health coach, nutrition, fitness, a personal trainer. I've owned gyms even. This has been 2 decades in the making. Way back in 2004, exercise nutrition degree. And I've had thousands of conversations since then. We talk about energy a lot with people, about people being able to manage and maintain their energy and everything that's happening in their day to day. Because if you are your energy, if you have lots of energy, then you can seemingly overcome the challenges that come your way. If you do not, then what happens? It's a lot more challenging in a sense to navigate the issues, the impact, the challenges that are going to show up for you. Today on our agenda, let's jump in, talking about the energy equation, energy zappers, and energize your life. What does that actually mean? Energy equation. Let's slow down and tune into your energy right now. I'm going to try and I hope you can match my energy. Again, just got done working out. Before the workout, I was a little lower on energy, not as excited. Just got up early, got the kids to school, and started the day. But as the sun's been out, walked with my wife and my dog, I have a lot more energy because I always say this to my clients. I remind them regularly, movement is energy. And the more that you put yourself out there, the more blood flow, the more your heart rate gets up, the easier it is to get those feel-good energy endorphins going. So if we're just an object at rest stays at rest, and there's not a lot of energy being used or produced, but when we're moving, we can really ramp it up. Question, if you want to hit the chat box, where are you right now in the scale of energize with your energy, your focus? Here we go. Chat is getting hit up. I like it. We've got an 8. Wonderful. I feel I'm the Spinal Tap 11. Hopefully I'm not dating myself too much here. But also for me, it's my job to show up with energy with delivering these webinars. For the love of you, if I got on here and just droned away, talked, hey, today guys, we're going to talk about energy and we're going to talk about how to get it up and get moving in the day. I did that. It's wow, this guy's not really full of it. Same thing with my clients. When they come on calls with me, I'm lending them energy, right? They're working on self-improvement. They're working on their health, their nutrition, their fitness, trying to lose weight, trying to manage their day-to-day lifestyles and put themselves first. And they can borrow my energy all day long because I get it recharged. So we have anywhere from 5 to 8. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. And hopefully by the time we're done, we'll have more like 8, 9, 10. What is it? What's energy? Strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity. Right? You either have your physical body to move it, whether you're walking, whether you're lifting weights, that's what I was doing a moment ago, whether you are doing daily tasks, those mundane adulting tasks, laundry, dishes, cleaning your house, brain activity. You need brain activity just to function and do the daily things. Think of this. Every single day, there's thousands of inputs coming my way. I've got the sun. I like presenting out here because I get the sun. I can hear birds. I'm out in the outside doors in a sense, outdoors, and I can go out and stand in the sun if I need a little bit more of the sun's energy to get me going. I can walk. I'm standing right now. That gives me energy. But when we get to the day-to-day tasks and work, that we need mental energy as well to be able to perform those tasks. I ate before the workout and made sure I got enough food in to give me energy for the workout, but also this because I knew I wasn't going to be able to eat after the workout. And then I've got a number of other things happening in the rest of the day. It's a very busy day for the Piranhas. What else? We want to spark in your body and your life that allows you to engage in activities with enthusiasm and also zest. You know, when you walk in every day to school, to work, or into maybe church or a social outing or dinner or wherever. When you go into those situations and you know the person, you can almost tell how a conversation might go depending on how the person greets you. And if they're kind of low energy, then you might have an inkling of where, especially if you had a relationship with this person, where it's going to actually go. But if they come in and greet you, handshake, high five, and they want to hug you, and hey, how you doing? And there's this inflection in their voice. It's going up and down. You know you're probably in for a good time. Or you're at a party and the music's bumping. So that's what good energy is. Now, let's differentiate tiredness versus exhaustion. Tiredness, occasional feeling of weariness or decreased energy. Energy is running on the lower end, maybe a 5, 4, 3. Often relieved by good rest, a nap, sleep. It's scheduling more downtime in your day that allows for just general fatigue and tiredness to relinquish from the body. Commonly experienced after physical exertion or a long day, right? You put your head on the pillow at night and then you're out like a light. That's usually me. By the time I get to the end of the day, I'm pretty tired. I've given a lot of energy to the day. Tried to focus on the needs of my family, needs of my clients, needs of my business, friends, whatever. Now, exhaustion is persistent. It's continual. It's feeling overwhelmed all the time. You probably are having broken sleep. You might wake up in the middle of the night feeling pretty tired, not being able to go to sleep. Your mind's running around. Oftentimes, sure, this could be physical exhaustion, but in our modern day-to-day life, most people don't move enough, I've found. Key, if you want to take better care of yourself, 10K steps a day is really easy. You just get out and you do it. It's not that big of a deal as soon as you get in the rhythm and pattern behavior. Maybe you could check and comment if you do have anything with steps, what your steps are. Usually I'm at almost 6,000 right now. It's afternoon. I'm good pace today on getting to my 10K. What else? So mental fatigue. We have a lot of mental fatigue going on with the bombardments of marketing, the bombardments of just your daily demands of life, bombardments of work, bombardments of the world right now. It's upside down, it feels a little bit. And then we have the emotional relationships, or how you are feeling about what's going on with, maybe you're glued into the stock market and you're not that wild about it trending down, right? There's some mental fatigue that can start going your way. It's one person jumped in. We got 3,600 steps so far today. Excellent. That's good pace so far for half the day going on. If anyone else posts, it'd be great. It may interfere with daily functioning. You just are not productive. You can't accomplish the task. You can't show up focused and be able to fulfill on the demands that are placed on you. Next up, this exhaustion continues to go into burnout, compassion fatigue for the emotional side of it, or chronic fatigue. That's a much more as complex condition. Let's look at the burnout is unmanaged work-related stress that leaves you feeling drained, cynical at your job, doubting your abilities. Burnout could be from parenting. I have 4 kids. Oldest is in high school, 3 youngers in middle school. My oldest got accepted to college for the college, why can't I think of it? The college preparatory classes, that type of stuff. Which, yay, that's really exciting, but that starts next year. And he also got his temps. He's 15 and a half. So, yay, I get to start driving around in a car with him. He feels like he'll be a good driver. We'll see. But And so you have that. Then the other three have been in the Shrek musical. Tonight, tomorrow, and a doubleheader on Saturday has kept them at school. 7:45 to 6:30 some nights this week. They're running on empty in a sense, and they're going to do their big performances, and that'll be very fun and exciting. And I know that the rest of the week and Sunday just is going to be a nothing day. Just let the kids relax, chill, rest, low energy so they can refresh again. But that's just what's happening, about 20 hours of the play on top of other things. Compassion fatigue, emotional mental drain caused by caring for others, suffering, often a long period of time. There's the lady Rosie that I talked with today. We've been actually going for months now, but one of her friends has a chronic illness to the point where she has to go for chemo, radiation, and it's wearing on her. Her friend is asking for support to help drive her to the treatment and all, but that weighs on Rosie. A couple months ago, she was generally fine, and now she's not. And there's a lot of emotional weight that comes from that. And as humans are, the last 20 years, people want to downplay that sometimes and not actually give grace to themselves or give time to allow for the processing, the impact that it has on them. And then chronic fatigue, this could be a body illness. This could be just run down from everything in life, from illness. It's a complex condition that doesn't improve with rest and significantly impacts daily activities. You just are fatigued. You getting up to go to the bathroom even feels like too much work. And in that situation, any of these situations, you should be seeking alternative forms to cope and manage it quite a bit. Hustle culture could be a challenge, and one of the reasons why you are actually in the situation where you are at right now. I've fallen into it during my gym days. I was up at 4, class at 5, left the gym around 11, tried to just relax in the middle of the day. Didn't really work because I still had to answer phone calls and message and engage. Then in the evening, come back to the gym and do more coaching, wrap up at 9, get home around 9:30, 10, wrapped everything up, and go to bed. And I had a 15-month-old and a 2-month-old at the time. They're 15 months apart. So generally he was born after I opened the gym, Everett was, and then Levi's 15 months older. So there you go. That was 2 years of that type of a lifestyle, Monday through Friday. And it created that chronic fatigue. It created a lot of emotional strain and physical demands. And when you have a business, sometimes you have to hustle, you have to make things happen. But there's a lot of people I work with that aren't the business owner. They don't get paid overtime. They work through their lunches. They take their work home, and next thing you know, they're just wearing down their hourly wage. And that falls into this need to fulfill on the demands at work. And I can understand some of it, but if you're not directly getting impact by the bottom line of the business, then you need to set better boundaries to avoid burnout, avoid fatigue, avoid strain, and just being cynical at work because you're just grinding. Let's define it a little bit. Constant connectivity demands of modern life are definitely here. 24/7 accessibility to work, social media, and information. There's just such a bombardment on people, and humans are not used to it. We are living through this connectedness age, and people are going to look back on us later in life and be like, wow, they paved the way of the internet or something. and the societal norms that came from this time. The people in the past probably would be jealous. Wow, you had so much connection to information, and we're over here drowning in it. We have blurred boundaries between work and personal life. That's a real thing too. I feel that sometimes in my business, and I really have to make sure that I set clear boundaries of when I'm working, when I'm not, when I'm answering text messages, when I'm not, when I'm on a phone call, when I'm not. Did any of you feel a bit of the hustle culture for you? You could just send me directly in the chat. I have another person about 4,400 steps. Well done. That's excellent. We have a yes. We have at least one person feeling a little hustle culture. Feeling that way, I can understand that being an issue. So we got one more poking in. We've got another one. I have, again, I'm 42, 4 kids, married my high school sweetheart. I've been self-employed since 2010. So 15 years of, as an entrepreneur, you'd say you eat what you kill. And always looking for who's the next client to help serve. How do I make sure that I'm serving the people I'm working with now to fulfill on what their goals are? I'd say about 70% of people come to me looking for weight loss. And then there's the other 30-40% are digestion issues, chronic illness, performance. I have some people running marathons. I actually worked with a lady, Sofia Reynoso, was a female Mexican kayaker. She was at the Paris Olympics, and also we worked together during Tokyo, which was really exciting. A very, very fun experience to work with her. And I'd get on a WhatsApp call. Sophia, where are you at today? You talk about just environmental stress. She was always going somewhere. All right, let's shift from glorifying busyness to celebrating balance. How do we actually do that? Well, let's next identify some of the energy zappers, things that really drain your energy. Right now, it's springtime. Ohio's starting, I live in Ohio, it's starting to bud and blossom. You start seeing all the spring buds coming out, and that's going to pave way for allergies, right? My wife and my second son seem to get it quite a bit more. I don't feel I have allergies. I hope not. I'm not interested in gaining them either. Every once in a while I'll see Everett running around with a tissue out of his nose because he's 14 and he just wants his nose to stop running. So he plugs it up. Oh, we have other signs, physiological signs, dehydration. If you're dehydrated, you're naturally going to be way more impacted by fatigue because you're not even giving your body just the everyday water basic needs that it needs from you. I always say this, water to the body is oil to a car. If your car runs off 50% of the oil that it needs, what are the issues? We've got friction, we have heat, we have wear and tear. All these things start to break the car down faster. Whereas if you just topped it off and had all the oil in there, you'd be good. Problems with humans rather than cars. Cars are a closed system. They can keep that oil in there for a while until it needs changed. Bodies, it comes in one end, goes out the other. We constantly need to reproduce it. Here's my solution, a 40-ounce water bottle. I have one before noon, one before dinner, roughly one before bed, depending on how much I move, how hot it is outside. Things of that nature will dictate. And I also drink some coffee too. I've been enjoying my SodaStream. I get the water. I fill half of this up. Half goes water, half plain water. I have a peppermint tea bag in here now. Oh, it's so good. That is so dynamite. I just want to drink the whole thing. And if I do something simple as that, it encourages more water. I hope that you too would do something to keep you hydrated. At the very least, you need to pay attention throughout a busy workday. Chronic pain. or poor sleep quality, medical conditions, these things can wear your body down, right? If you've ever experienced any of these things, there's times in your day that are just, the fatigue weighs on you. It's heavy. I'm so tired. I just got done with this monumental, stressful task, and I'm in this letdown period of fatigue. Medical conditions are wearing. That's 100%. I have a number of people, even now, I have 2 ladies that are dealing with cancer. That's very fatiguing. Hormonal imbalances, medical side effects. You women know the hormone imbalances and how that goes every month until you get out of it. I'm seeing it with my wife now as well, and perimenopause. Psychological factors. Anxiety is a huge drain on mental capacity. It's your brain is sprinting in place, trying to manage all the inputs or the thoughts that are going and bouncing off your head inside a bull in a china shop. It's a go, 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 and it's really challenging to slow that down. And as soon as the anxiety ramps up, it probably can take over for a little while if you don't have coping skills or ways to manage it. Pessimism, right? Hopefully there's not someone in the office that's a pessimist and Debbie Downer. There's nothing against Debbie, that's just the phrase, right? Same thing, negative Nancy. Nothing against Nancy. Somehow all Nancys are negative, I don't know. But pessimism is a battery drain on yourself, because there's we've seen it in the last 20 years, a huge shift toward gratitude, huge shift toward just optimism and trying to, grass is greener, sun is shining, glass is half full type mentality. Depression, that is a physical weight that can hold you down and keep you from doing stuff. Overthinking, perfectionism, analysis paralysis keeps you in an overwhelmed state, and you don't actually move forward with what the actual next steps are for you to get results, to get processing going, to get the next thing off the checklist. In my profession, being self-employed, being a health lifestyle coach and all, a lot of people struggle with even, say, posting something on their social media to create content, and that is a brick wall that people can't get around. And what do I post next? Chronic stress. If you have deadlines, you have a boss that doesn't know how to manage you, or is just intolerable, you have a challenging relationship, you have challenging children, a challenging schedule. These things can weigh on you and really keep stress levels high. A thought comes to mind sometimes with people. I ask them, so we've talked like 2 or 3 weeks now. Are you living in a stress response and you don't even realize it? And I get them to stop and breathe, start thinking about what's best for them. And when they start to process this thing, that, oh my gosh, I'm so loaded with stress, I'm not even making clear decisions around what it is that's important to me. I just say yes to the next task on the list, or the next person that shows up. I just say yes, and I don't do a good job of delegating, scheduling, managing that, and saying no. That stuff wears. And lastly, negative self-talk is a big one, especially with people I work with. If someone's been 20, 30, 50 pounds overweight, just self-esteem is just not there like they would want it to be. And it's easy to wear yourself down with negativity, negative talk, challenges that show up in their everyday. We have lifestyle factors, social isolation. Oh my gosh. Now more than ever, we're more connected and we're less connected, right? There's less in-person contact, but there's way more social contact. Feeling lack of purpose. If you don't know why you're showing up at work every day, that would drain your battery in a sense of, why am I doing this? Why am I here? What's going on? If I go home and just fade away into Netflix because I have nothing better to do in my personal life, yeah, that's an energy drain. You're going to run out of shows. Yeah, they keep producing them, but the thrill, the excitement, the fulfillment, the dopamine you get from these things is just not going to happen. People become overcommitted. They say yes to everything. Their schedules are packed. They have no time for themselves. One of the reasons I do that is to make sure that I have my schedule filled with my buddy Chris, who comes over, my wife, we walk, and I have a lot of other things that go on with the family, like Shrek Night. We have financial difficulties. Those are obviously challenges with increased prices in the grocery store happening, or sometimes gas seems outrageous. Those are challenges as well. Sedentary behavior, just not moving. You physically aren't going to be active with anyone on any level, even going out and walking with someone or just leaving your house. That's, again, back to social isolation. Excessive screen time falls into that. On Apple and Android, you can look and see how much you're actually on your phone. For Apple, I'm an Apple user, screen time. Go into your settings, screen time. You'd have to Google something for what the actual Android spot is to assess that. See how much time you're actually spending on the phone, where it's showing up in your day-to-day. And just lack of time management skills. Can't tell you how many times I'm talking to people, they just don't manage their schedule well. They don't schedule things that are important. They let other people schedule their calendars. They let a person walking into the office take over the next 30 minutes, and it doesn't actually solve anything. It doesn't move anything forward for them or the other person. They're just chit-chatting for a little because they're bored. That could be a problem if that happens to you. Workplace factors, high workload, micromanagement, unclear expectations, inadequate resources. That leads to poor work-life balance, right? You're overwhelmed, overloaded. Someone's telling you what to do every step of the way, not giving you the autonomy to allow you to focus on the tasks at hand and allow you to actually fulfill on them. You don't have the time, the energy, the resources, the software, the physical space, the resources, like physical resources if you were to make a physical product. Then other things, boredom. Just someone chatting at the water cooler for an extra 10 minutes because they didn't want to get back to work, and then they're taking you down with them. Or monotony. If you're doing too much of the same things, that becomes monotonous as well. When there's conflict, if there's tension between two people, that creates a challenge as well. Whether it is in your workplace or in just being at home, and the negativity that surrounds that type of conflict. There can be a lot of he said, she said, this is the way it's going to happen. You start to project what the situations are going to be that cause challenges there. Persistent fatigue isn't always due to lifestyle. Even if you're sleeping well, managing stress, eating healthy, there could be an underlying medical reason. And of course, you need to talk to your doctor about some of these chronic fatigue issues. Make sure you get a good full blood panel done. Maybe get allergy tests. Look at your thyroid as that may be underactive. These things cause extreme tiredness, that chronic fatigue-like Also, fatigue, it could be a sign that your heart isn't working. Serious things that you may need. If you spent 2 to 3 weeks feeling just disheveled, unkept, not moving much, no desire, no libido, then you might need to see a professional on this to find if there is something going on with you. So just throwing that out there. But let's reflect here. Some of the energizers we've got: exercise, meditation, adequate rest. These things obviously replenish the body with excitement, with energy, with capacity to do more things. We have de-energizers: stress, poor nutrition, overcommitment. Those things drain your battery. If you look at your schedule and it's top to bottom meetings, and you see, wow, I have no time to do my actual real work, what happens then? You get really mentally overwhelmed. Oh, great. I get to take my laptop home tonight. I get to do more work, more than I want to. And I don't get to rest. I have a lady right now, Antoinette, moved to DC to do work projects. They are burying her in 16-hour days. She has a team to manage. There's projects that are due. There's tough deadlines. The champion move here for us is, can you please eat? Can you please take 5-minute walk breaks? Can you please make sure you're drinking water? Because if she doesn't, she can easily go 6, 7, 8 hours without food. And then here comes the wave of bad habits, the wave of negative impact on the body, the wave of overwhelm. And that's going to reflect in poor health. Maybe not right now, but it will in the future. I see so many people in their even 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s dealing with poor health situations that unfortunately have been brought on by lifestyle choices or behaviors that they have continued to do, that just skipping meals at work can lead to overconsumption at night, can lead to increased sugar cravings, and just this tsunami impact or effect of always just wanting to eat all night long. And then you go sleep, and then you've gained a 1/4 pound a day. Well, 1/4 pound a day over 7 days could be a pound. A pound a week is, even a 1/4 pound a week is 4 pounds a month. That is 12 pounds. 1/4 pound is 1 pound a month. Excuse me, do my math right. 1/4 pound a week is 1 pound a month, which is 12 pounds in a year, which is like 25 in 2 years, just from that subtle not balancing things out. Now let's get to the actual energy here. How do we get more in you? We've gone through the down part of this. We got to get to the up part where we have actions and physical takeaways that you can implement. Of course, the body, physical energy, we need to move it. We were designed to move. Go back 500 years, you were probably digging in the dirt to get your food source. You were walking around to find food. You were hunting to find food, in a sense, right? We were physically active, and now we have modern convenience that is challenging us. Soaking up the sun. Being outside is incredibly important. That's one of the reasons why I love coming out here to my workspace in my barn, my say man cave gym thing. This is where I spend 90% of the time when it's warm out and do all my workout here. So I can soak up the sun. It's bouncing on my face. I can see it. It hits my eyeballs. It hits my energy. I'm borrowing the energy from the sun to power me. If you needed, you could look at other examples of getting light therapy lamps for darker months in the winter time. Open windows, always letting natural light in. Applying sunscreen, right? We want to be safe in the sun as well. All right, we have a little rough exposure to arms in the morning in Ohio right now. Yes, I would agree with you. It's still a little chilly in the morning, and it's dark when I'm getting up. Whereas, last week it was light when I was waking up. So, good old daylight savings, right? I'm not sure what we're gonna do with that. But getting out of the sun is so important to giving you energy. Balancing blood sugar levels. We want blood sugar level to be balanced. That will give you the most optimum energy throughout the day. That'll give you good brain waves, good management of energy. It'll give you resist cravings. In this chart here, we got a little chart with wavy lines up and down. One looks moderate rolling hills. The other, it's like you're doing mountains, peaks and valleys. If we're eating a large, this is very much related to food. And if we have a lot of food, a lot of carbs, a lot of calories, cheap quality food, it's going to bump the blood sugar up. Your body's going to release insulin. It's going to shoot it out into the blood. It's going to gather it all up and store it into your body, usually stored in muscles, but depending on if you haven't moved, then it's likely stored as body fat. Blood sugar is going to come crashing down, and then that's when you're going to go look for more food, more sugar, because it's all around the office and it's quick, accessible, easy, and you didn't plan anything for lunch anyways. And then you go through these peaks and valleys, and then it gets even worse when you get home. So different ways to manage blood sugar. We'll go back. Balanced meals, protein, vegetables, some fruits, some starch, a little bit of healthy fat. Most of the clients I ever work with are eating 3 or 4 times in a day. They're planning their meals. They're organized. They're moving through this process in which they are allowing themselves to be successful with it. That's someone will always ask me, so what is the difference between someone who's successful and someone who's not? The key word is consistency. They have created patterns of behavior in their everyday life that results in the look, the feel, the body that they're after. And blood sugar is just managing their blood sugar levels, just a byproduct of being more organized around food. Fluids. Certainly won't want to have a lot of fluid here. This will help fatigue. Going back to the example of the car, the oil in the car. If you're walking around and you are only 50% hydrated in a sense, let's think of muscle tissue quality. That's really important. People don't even think about that. But if your muscles aren't fluid, 2 real easy examples come to mind. Beef jerky or filet mignon. The filet is real nice and supple and juicy and squishy and tastes so good. It's not that beef jerky doesn't taste good, but you put it in your mouth, you're chewing it for a little bit, right? You're kind of breaking down that rigid muscle tissue. It's important to have fluids. It's important to keep your muscles hydrated and keeping your body. Easy ways to do that, set reminders. I can't tell you how many times I get people to drink your water on alarms throughout the day. We can have some homemade electrolyte drinks. There's a lot of electrolytes on the market. One of my favorite ones, go-to, is the Emergency, that immune booster one. It has a silly amount of electrolytes, and it's a third of the cost as some of those sticks. A popular brand being Liquid IV or Element or Drip Drop. The list goes on. There's tons of them. But that one could be a really easy one if you are looking for more electrolytes. And you would want more electrolytes if you were more electrolytes if you're actually like in a hot environment, you were moving your body a lot, running, cycling outdoors or something. Snacking on hydrating fruits like watermelon, apples, oranges, bananas, pears, grapes. basically any fruit is a wet food that helps with not only hydrating your body, because hydration comes from food, but also helps with digestion and processing. Freeze pureed fruit in trays, that could be an easy way to munch on it or have it as a way to flavor ice or flavor water. Warm lemon water in the morning. I'll just throw this out there. That's not going to boost your metabolism or something. It's just warm lemon flavored water. Okay, so don't get into the, I'm going to have cayenne pepper and lemon water in the morning, I'm going to lose weight. Please don't. It's just not it. So I sip on herbal teas like peppermint ginger. That's what I have in mind with the seltzer water. It's pretty good. I like ginger as well. That would sound enjoyable. Experiment with flavored waters. There's so many on the market now. One thing I always suggest with people is doing a 1-to-1 split with, say, LaCroix, bubbly, things like that. Take your 12-ounce can of bubbly, add it to 12 ounces of water. Now you have 24 ounces of lightly flavored bubbly water. And then you're not just drinking expensive cans of bubbly water. That's one hack in a way to get it to spread out that people usually like. Fuse your water with fruits or cucumber, make it a spa-like experience. Leftover vegetables into soup. Carry a reusable bottle. This thing I had for years. It actually has a little dent in it. We used to be more, but my son dropped it on the sliding door metal rail on the bottom, right in the middle, and it dented it. I was kind of upset initially, but I realized, hey, it's a great thumb handle for me to drink. It gives me a little bit more of a grip. Ways to stay fluid. Any of those that you guys like to do? Comment it up. All right, next up we got move it or lose it, under exercise, over exercise. Most people in my world, the type of person that I work with, busy, professional at work, have kids, they're juggling too many things. It's unlikely they're in the overdoing it activity unless they're training for a marathon, triathlon, something like that. Oftentimes people have a really hard time scheduling activity and exercise into their day. Decrease efficiency in using oxygen and delivering energy in muscles is when you're under exercise. You're just not using your body. There's demands more effort for everyday tasks because your muscles are weak. Of course. If you don't move, you lose. And I will throw this out there. After the age of 40, you're going to lose it no matter what you do. You can have perfect nutrition, perfect exercise, consistency throughout the rest of your life. Look at any 90-year-old. They are withering away. They have lost a lot of muscle mass. Usually they don't weigh a lot at all. And you want to do strength training to make sure that you keep as much of that muscle, much of that metabolism, much of that energy that you can do to do everyday tasks. Under exercise can disrupt sleep cycles. You just physically aren't tired. You're mentally and emotionally exhausted, just wiped out. But you can't sleep well because your body hasn't moved a lot. Overexercise depletes glycogen stores and muscle glycogen. If you are moving a lot, that's what happens. Think of driving your car around. The gas tank is filled with gasoline. Well, if you drive the car a lot, then it uses up gasoline. That's muscle glycogen. That's stored carbohydrates in your muscles. So if you're moving a lot, then you deplete that. And if you're not good on nutrition, then you are fatiguing yourself. This leads to muscle breakdown, causing soreness, fatigue, releases cortisol and stress hormones. You can physically overwhelm your body with cortisol if you are over-exercising. Most people don't do that. You'd have to be very regimented and not taking any rest at all. Pre-post workout, little ways to nourish your body here. avocado toast, a quarter of avocado and some toast would be a great pre-workout. A cup of cereal. That's what I had. I had cottage cheese with some protein powders that I like the way it tastes, a little whipped cream on it, some broken up pecans, and chia seeds. That was my initial what I ate. And then I had some Raisin Bran, a serving of it. And that was my carbs, proteins, fats, and all. It was very delicious. And it's still got me going right now, even about 3 hours after I've eaten it. We've got a quarter cup of berries, a half cup of walnuts. It's super easy to sneak that in. Half a banana, a tablespoon of nut butter, even just the whole thing. You might as well. Don't need to open it up and not eat the whole banana. For post-workout, certainly do a sports drink, protein drink, a protein bar. Yeah, those are always good options, but I always encourage people to eat whole foods, real foods, more so than just protein supplements all the time. Greek yogurt and berry, awesome, lots of protein and good source of carbs. Chicken and some broccoli, some rice could be added in there, or potato or beans. You could do a chicken bean burrito. Hummus and pita could be ways to get some carbs back into you. How do we energize the mind? Well, we have more focus. We have quality of energy. You can actually get things done. Your checkbox goes down. Let's see if I have it. I don't know if I have it out here or not. I don't have it. No, it's inside. I have this a little paper scrap that has all my to-dos on it, and there's some highlights and there's some lines now, and I feel accomplished, like I'm getting something done. And so the other thing is something that I'll show you. This is, if you can see it all right, but this is 2 months of efforts in terms of my daily tasks that I need to do. There's things of like how many conversations I may have, am I on a phone call, posting, having wins and stories, what resources and things am I working on. It keeps me moving forward. That helps keep me energized. Hopefully you can write stuff down and knock it out too. To-do lists are good if you know how to use them. Taking a break, mindfulness, awareness, quieting the mind, good ways to think about this. We do a body scan. If you've never done one of these, this is my favorite way to, I used to teach yoga classes, favorite way to unwind. We'd be laying in Shavasana, the corpse pose, laying on the ground, not moving, just focusing on breath. You'd have some guided meditation on it, and you would always start with the toes, and the direction was you're taking warm to hot water and pouring it into your body. And we're going to focus at different points in the body, working from the toes all the way up to the top of the head. And you focus, all right, we're going to pour warm water in your toes, and then it's going to fill into your ankles, and then it starts to slowly warm and fill up into your lower leg, your calves, your shin, your knees now. Focus on filling up the knees, softening, relaxing the knees. And by the time you work your way all the way up to your body, it's been 5 minutes, and your body's melted into the floor because you've forgotten about everything else. You've incrementally and segmented your body in a way that you just focus on the present spot where you focus your attention. It's wonderful. Engage in mindful movement, the yoga, walking, Pilates, strength training, anything that for you, going on a hike, for you that fills your cup that way. Using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. What that is really, I like this one is you count down from 5 to 1, and you really, you give yourself those 5 countdowns to drop the negative energy that you have. All right. And you can just talk to yourself through it, coach yourself through it. In 5 seconds, I'm going to let go of the built up stress I have about this upcoming meeting that I have with my coach, which after we're done, I have a coach's meeting with my coach. I'm not anxious at all or anything like that, but maybe with your boss or something. I'm going to meet my boss here in the top of the hour, and I need to let go of this. So in 5 seconds, I'm going to just allow it to leak out. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And something as simple as that can really allow you to do that. Progressive muscle relaxation. You squeeze a muscle hard and you relax. And you say this one's a really good one. You can do it with me. You shrug shoulders into ears and relax. And you take a deep breath in and squeeze and relax. And squeeze and relax. Those are easy ways to get your shoulders to relax. And then, of course, deep breathing. We want to do that. Now we have setting boundaries. Of course, we need to make sure that you set the appropriate boundaries around the people that you are with, and you don't allow them to overrun you. There are 3 examples here. I care about you and I want to be there for you, but late night calls disrupt my sleep. Would you be okay if we talked earlier in the day, or maybe could offer some advice over text? That's a good way to set boundary. I want to talk to you. I just can't stay up late. Number 2, I appreciate your trusting me with this, but I already have a full workload. Perhaps your colleague, this is a delegation move. Perhaps John might be able to help here. I just don't have the bandwidth right now to help. That's saying no in a polite way. And offering a solution, an option to go find the solution somewhere else. Or 3rd, it sounds like you're going through a tough time. Would you like to brainstorm some solutions, or maybe brainstorm? Hey, would it be helpful if we went through some solutions? Or maybe I could just listen and hear what's going on when I'm feeling a little more emotionally available, or when I'm like right now, I'd love to listen to what's going on. Just don't have enough time to be able to sit with you here. Can we to help get that going on? And so, yeah, that would work. All right, feel to heal. High energy can be depleting, but also high energy can be renewing depending on where it's coming. Low energy can be felt as depleting or stressful or depression, or low energy can be healing and renewing, where you are setting aside time to just relax, get away from the stress. Now, a study showed that highly sensitive people is someone with increased sensitivity, their environment, their social cues, the light is too bright, or the allergies are in the air, or the input of information is so much. That's a real thing. So studies look for functional MRI scans of the brain in highly sensitive people, and when they've heard someone's story or witnessed their emotions, they showed far more activity than non-sensitive people. Or not that they're not sensitive, just that they're not empath. They're not grabbing on to that person's emotions and making it their own, in a sense. So it's something to pay attention to. If you are a little more sensitive, then you need to focus on guarding, protecting, creating boundaries for yourself. Ways to change the narrative here. Reverse lens. What would the other person in this conflict say, and in what ways might that be true? The long lens, looking at it further along. How will I most likely view this situation in 6 months? That's always a good one, because right now it feels so tight, hard, strict, challenging, whatever. But in the future, how does it downshift? And wide lens. Can we get out of this narrow tunnel vision and look at the bigger outcome of what's happening in, or how can you grow and learn from the situation? Of course, spirit is your being, your energy of meaning and purpose. And we want to make sure that we stay in zones of competence and genius. This allows you to bring joy, be really good and unique at. These are always things I'm focusing on, is helping other people and improve themselves. Places where we have to watch out is for incompetence, and we also want to make sure that we are focusing on excellence as well. Prioritize what matters. Identify your priorities. Schedule dedicated time. You even delegate time away if someone comes in on an office. Create rituals around transition. When I get off a meeting, I always have a 15-minute break to assess, reflect, and allow myself to come out of that to go into another task. It's a great transition ritual. Reclaim scattered moments and write things down as you go. Live your values. What activities make you lose track of time? Those are things you want to do more. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? You want to think about that, of the way you're impacting others, because that's how they're going to remember you. What opportunities would you never want to miss? Do those. A bucket list is meant to be done, not to just be a list that never actually gets done. As what the next one is you want to do those things and understand why they're important to you. What factors do you weigh most heavily when making important decisions? Make sure that you understand those strengths, those challenges, and all. So let's chat as we wrap up here. What is one thing you will do to boost your energy today? I'd love to hear it. I already worked out, I already walked. I'm good. I'm going to go do a lot of fun things today. We have more water. I agree. That would be a good idea. That in and of itself will help you quite a bit. Energy provides you with the fuel to accomplish your personal and professional goals. Although sleep is, of course, important, it's not the only thing that re-energizes you. Like the physical input of the sun, like going outside and walking on your lunch break is so crucial. And little things like eating a healthy lunch can really make a pivotal difference in how your afternoon goes, rather than just succumbing to whatever's in the break room. So I want to thank you for your time today. I hope you got a lot out of this. I really appreciate elevating your energy today. I hope you found some unique perspectives and shifts and everything. So enjoy your day. I thank you quite a bit for joining me here.